it to me. Give it to me.
And Kevin Owens rushes over to Sammy to embrace him. They hug, and the crowd goes wild.
Yes.
This is what we've been waiting for weeks,
Yes.
for months,
Yes.
for a whole
Yes.
year.
Someone not listening to the podcast. Imagine had they heard that whole thing.
So then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn end their embrace, and we fade to black. And presumably Kevin and Sami had unprotected sex later that night.
Oh, you missed something.
What'd I miss?
They flashed to Cody Rhodes watching it on TV with a approving smile on his face.
Everything Cody touches turns to gold.
Yeah, he was back there like a proud papa. Yeah, those are my boys.
So now it looks like we're getting Jay and Jimmy versus Sammy and Kevin.
Yes. Although not said, the match seems to be on. So I did have a question about this whole thing.
Okay.
So they keep talking about ending the bloodline.
Yeah.
My question is, what exactly does that mean? Like, is it them getting a pin over the bloodline? Is that the end? Or do they need to take all the titles? Like, what technically ends the bloodline? I was just thinking that.
Well, taking Roman's titles for sure. And I think the icing on the cake would be the Usos titles. I don't know if you could be the tribal chief when other two people of your group are the ones with the belts,
Yeah.
So I think that would be the first step. Because Heyman's been saying, like, the titles are the bloodline.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
I was like, they keep talking about taking down the bloodline, but I don't think I know exactly what that
It's
what
the
that
belts.
means.
Because just beating them, I think they'd be okay with that. Because Roman would still be the undisputed champion.
True.
And if Sammy and Kevin beat the Usos, then that would suck, and it would certainly punch the bloodline in the face, but the tribal chief would still have the belts, which are everything to him, according to Paul Heyman.
Yeah. So if the Usos lose, they still survive. If Roman loses, that's it. Just wanted to ask about that. There you go.
At least that's how I see it.
Yes. It seems like we have entered the chapter that's going to lead to Cody Rhodes becoming champion. But, like I said before, it looks like now this is phase 2 of the process. This is the next chapter of the story. Of what I see going forward, you got Backlash right after WrestleMania, so you're probably going to get Kevin, Sammy, and Cody versus the Bloodline at Backlash in like a 6-man tag.
Okay.
That's probably going to be your Backlash main event. And then you go into King of the Ring and Money in the Bank.
Why wouldn't you have the Usos and Samoa Joe?
Because Cody's feuding with Roman.
Well, he won't after WrestleMania.
Well, like I said, I'm not going to say it this week. I'm
Okay.
going to save it to next week.
Okay.
Well, let's just say, even if he does win, he'd still be feuding with Roman, because then Roman's going to want to get revenge on it. But
I was going off your theory that he's going to be done for a while.
well, if he is done, then yeah, Solo would be the person to step in. But I think that's a main event of a Raw, not a main event of a pay-per-view, unfortunately.
Wait, but Samoa Joe's undefeated. Why would you say that? He hasn't been pinned or submitted.
He is, but he's not Roman Reigns.
Oh, but he's undefeated, though.
He's still not Roman Reigns.
All right.
They should be bringing in a fourth member. I don't know who would make sense as the fourth member, but a fourth member to then be the counter to Solo. We kind of did talk about that. Maybe it's Riddle or something. I don't know. But they do need to bring in someone that's going to be the counter to Solo, so you have 4 versus 4. And then you can maybe even make it an 8-man tag. As I see it now, it'll be 3v3 at Backlash. And then you go Money in the Bank. You don't need Roman for Money in the Bank. You don't need Roman for King of the Ring. Then now you're at SummerSlam after those pay-per-views. That's where it makes sense. So this is chapter 2. You go through those pay-per-views, and then you can enter the final chapter of the next chapter, the end of the Bloodline, the start of the Cody thing.
Cody said it was the final chapter.
There's no middle chapter. What's the middle chapter? Getting hurt? That's not a middle chapter.
What are you talking about?
He said it was the final chapter.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. This is chapter 2.
No, he left.
Of course he's...
Rebuilt himself, came back, got injured for a whole year, had rehab, came back, won the Royal Rumble, is in the main event at WrestleMania. The final chapter of that story is Roman Reigns, according to Cody. That's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Well, we shall see. We'll see who's the storyteller here.
We'll see.
Been right at every turn here, except for the circle of friendship.
Oh, the three of them?
No, the whole I just want to be your friend
Because it's
Like
stupid and men don't talk like that. That's why. If you were a 13-year-old girl, then yeah, it would make sense to you.
I think it did make sense. But yes, this just seems like now we're entering chapter 2. And I just made sense. This builds out the next several pay-per-views for you into SummerSlam, and then SummerSlam is where you end the book. Because otherwise, like you said, just listen to what you said. So Backlash, we're gonna have Solo and the Usos versus Cody and the Circle of Friends. Again, that sounds like a main event of Raw, not a main event of a pay-per-view. Unless you don't want people to watch your pay-per-view.
I don't know. I would be focusing Cody on other things.
For Backlash?
Cody would be winning decisively until SummerSlam.
Well, you gotta remember though, Backlash is like 2 weeks after WrestleMania.
That's fine.
So, you don't have time to start something new.
I'm not saying start something new. You're building up Cody, making him the dominant champion until SummerSlam.
Well, yeah, I just think if Cody wins, he's gonna keep it a while. I don't know how.
Yeah, a while would
get
be
the-
SummerSlam.
That's only like 3 months. You've done all this to build him as the next guy. Losing in 3 months. I don't think that's
the next story. Not everybody can have the belt for years. Only Gunther.
Not years, but Triple H is about long reigns. As you see, Gunther has held it for almost 300 days. Roman, you know his reign.
Didn't he have the belt before Vince left, though?
Yeah, some of it was Vince, but Triple H had his opportunities to take it off Roman and didn't. Cardiff. That was probably the biggest chance when they were in UK.
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber. They could have done it then too. I know. As you say, Sammy was never going to win the title, but
Ever.
just saying, if you were going to do it, that would have been a moment to do it. Or the WrestleMania with Edge and Daniel Bryan. You could have put it on Edge. Well, really what we're talking about is Cody. If he gets the title, I don't think his run ends in 3 months. He would just then be a transitional champion.
He's the type of babyface that I think he has to have something to overcome.
Ah, see, you've said it.
What?
He needs something to overcome. That's why if he wins at SummerSlam, it'll be all the more.
No, oh my God.
He needs something to
Why
overcome.
can't you get it through your head?
Struggled. He's not struggled.
He
even said it himself.
Oh my fucking, yes he has.
He just said it.
He hasn't
I've
struggled
not lost since I've come back.
since he came back from his pec injury.
No, he said
Yes.
since I've been back
No, from
to
his
WWE.
pec injury.
He's not lost since he came back to WWE. Let me just tell you that.
That's true. He had 3 matches. Then he tore his pectoral muscle, and then he was out for an entire year. What do you
Well,
think
that's
he
a
was
real
doing
life
that entire year? Playing Call of Duty?
Maybe. This is the video game era, as The Undertaker says.
He was rehabbing. He was getting stronger. He's overcome plenty.
And he's the first Rhodes to ever main event WrestleMania. They don't know what this is. He's in the deep water now. His dad's never been there. No one can prepare him for what he's about to go through because no one's been there. Said he doesn't have that main event experience, and he's facing a guy.
He has main
it's
event
a real
experience,
sport.
though.
Not on this level.
This might be the biggest stage of them all, but he has main event experience.
Like Roman said, have you ever even competed for one of these?
One of those specific titles, no, but he has main evented at the top of other companies.
I'm meaning in the sense of it's the biggest stage that you can get on. You can't even refute that. It's just the biggest stage. More people will watch WrestleMania than probably combined to watch the other promotions in the whole year.
Unfortunately, that's the other promotion's fault.
It is.